All right, beautiful day. What's up, my people? I'm headed to do a coaching session, but I wanted to jump on here and show you guys some love. Before I do that, there's a lot that I kind of want to go into to help you maneuver through the market as best as possible with the game plan that you got in place. So come on in and we'll get started with this. All right. All right. It's always amazing to spend some time with you guys. Hey guys, how are you? I see you. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the market and kind of help you maneuver and share with you some things that I'm personally doing right now. I'm kind of excited because I'm doing a little buying and selling for different reasons. Grace and peace, Mika. I have different portfolios for different reasons. There's some portfolios that I don't even touch. Um, they're invested in solid businesses, solid long term crypto. But there's some things going on, and I want to address some stuff just because of a conversation I had with somebody. And I told her when I had this conversation, I said, hey, this is going to be awesome to be able to share this because I'm sure a lot of people feel like you. Hey, Shaylin, good evening. All right. So I want to get into it because, like I said, I have a coaching session after this. And I want to talk about I had a conversation with somebody and I was asking them about a stock that I felt like they should have invested in. And they were like, they were saying it was too late to invest in the stock. And I was like, well, why do you think it's too late? And they just took me on a journey about how they saw it low and then it went up. And then they thought, hey, I'm too late. And then it went up some more. And they was like, oh, I'm really late. And then it went up some more. And it was like, it's over now. And I said, you know what? That's probably how a lot of people feel. So I'm going to share something on that. And I'm going to talk about a few stocks that I'm looking at reloading up on. I've already began to. I do think we may have a little bit more volatility in the market. So I'm going to share with you kind of what I'm doing a little bit with my money and what I've done with my money. I've liquidated at least in the last day, probably over $30,000. Specifically, I only sold a little portion of a few things. But I'm going to explain to you why and why I do sell sometimes. But again, these are swing options. So this is not a long-term portfolio. It's one of my swing option portfolios. And I'll explain what makes me do that. Before I get started, and I will cover a lot, so just bear with me because I'm going to give you like at least two stocks that you should be buying. Two stocks that I'm buying, and then another two bonus stocks that I want to kind of help you understand a little bit about. Right now, I just want to say that I am not your financial advisor. This is only for educational purposes only. I cannot tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. Again, this is for educational purposes only. All right. Here's what I hear all the time. Okay. I wanted to invest, but the price went up. I missed it. It's too late, And the stock that we're talking about that this particular person told me about was Nvidia, right? And so she watched it go from, low numbers, I guess 20, 30, $40 to $80. And it was like, oh, it's too late to $120. Oh, it's too late. And, and it left her kind of completely stuck with not being able to take any type of measures with this, right? And so the stock didn't just go higher. It just kept building massive gains, right? And so it was ignored out of this hesitation. And so here's what I need you to understand always, because even right now, I don't know what the market is going to do. I'm gonna give you some education on what we're looking for right now, because there could be some great opportunities ahead. That's what I want you to know, right? And so what I need you to understand is that uh the too late voice is it's not about the stock. It's all about your mindset when you have that, because the same voice will show up in every single area of your life. It's too late to start my business. Like, how many of you all want to start a business? It's too late to write my book. It's too late to buy real estate. It's too late to fix my credit. It's too late to get my health together. Like, this whole too late is more than just, a stock. It's a voice that shows up over and over again. And then what happens is you stay stuck. You stay in the cycle of waiting for perfect conditions, and perfect never comes. It just doesn't. Now let's go deeper into why this actually matters, and how this even happens, right? How and why it happens is because usually the brain gets very confused, and it confuses comfort with safety. Okay, so your brain is wired to protect you from risk, but in money, protection becomes paralysis. It feels safer to do nothing, but doing nothing is the riskiest thing of all. And think about it: if you had like $1,000 sitting in the bank last year, inflation ate away almost 4% of it. That's $40 gone without you even lifting a finger. Meanwhile, if you had put that same $1,000 into an S&P index fund, you would have seen double digit, right? So the cost of hesitation is not neutral; it's actually expensive. Now, let me give you another example. Back in 2020, during the pandemic crash, people were very, very terrified. Stocks were falling. I mean, falling like crazy. The headlines were saying the world was ending, don't invest, all of this. But those who invested in companies, like for example, for example, Tesla, okay, Amazon, even simple index funds, they turned that fear into life-changing money. Okay, that fear of, like, if they got past it and actually invested, they turned that fear season into life-changing money. Okay, because it was a scary season, right? Somebody said that's true. It is. And so those who froze, they missed the entire run up. There was an entire run up of the market. And here's the point: if you only invest when it feels safe, you're going to always be too late. All right. Trust me, there's a little emotion when the market starts to move. I have to be level headed too. I have to calm myself and have a game plan that I'm sticking with. Okay. Because if I don't have a game plan that I'm sticking with, I'm going to let the emotions of the market move me left and right. And that's not what I'm here for. No, I'm being real intentional. And that's why I want to share why I sold some of my stuff, and what type of portfolio I sold from. Okay. And help you know the difference. I actually have been buying and selling. Okay. So I want you to know when I do things like that. For most of you, I really like to talk about long-term safe plays, meaning good quality companies that you don't have to worry about. Like, this isn't some dramatic change or whatever in the market. The market always has a correction. As a matter of fact, it's been just going up so much. I'm like, when are we going red? Because I need to buy some stuff. And it's some stuff I just have not been able to buy because I bought them so low that I'm like, I refuse to buy them up this high. Like, this is crazy. We're seeing we're just going up, 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 up. And so I'm actually excited because I had some limit orders in that I was finally able to buy. But if you invest when it only feels safe, again, you're going to always feel like you're too late. The opportunity never looks obvious. It never looks obvious in the moment. Trust me, we all have to go through it. It always looks very scary, uncertain, or like you just missed it. Okay. And it'll just make you feel like that because there's a lot of volatility that happens in August and September. September is actually usually the worst month in the stock market. So just know that, right? That's an opportunity. But that's why wealthy people don't wait for perfect. They train themselves to just move when other people are hesitant. Okay. So I want to help you with that because there's some opportunity that's probably coming. Okay. And it's going to pass by because I am still under the impression that we're going to do really well by the end of by the end of the year. Now, I am not saying to throw money blindly into anything. That is gambling. Okay. What I'm saying is you've got to break the cycle of waiting to join, waiting to get involved, waiting to invest in yourself, waiting to learn. This waiting you got to break this cycle because the real win is not in, as it pertains to like the stock market, for example, since we're using that as an example, but this can be used in any area of your life. The real win isn't catching the exact bottom. Everybody's trying to catch the perfect moment. There is none. This isn't about catching the perfect bottom, the good stock, making sure that we catch the bottom of Bitcoin or whatever that looks like. The real win is that you finally become an investor, a consistent, intentional investor. You finally stop letting fear run your financial life. You finally take that first step so your money can start compounding for you instead of shrinking against inflation. Okay. So All right, cool. So that's the trap. That is the trap that I want to break down first. This too late trap. It's not too late. It's only too late if you never start. And that was the point I was trying to get across to her. Is the reason why it's too late is because you never started. You never jumped in. You know what I mean? You just thought it's over and it just kept going up. It's over, it's over, it's over, and you just never jumped in. And at some point you want to jump in. Of course, you want to do it wisely, but you do want to jump in. Now, let's just kind of zoom out for a second. Let's talk about the market. And I want to educate you on the economy and what that looks like, because you need to understand it if you're putting your money into plays that the economy can affect. All right. So right now, at the time of this video, the market is down, but this can be used at any time in the market, because the market is going to go up and down, y'all. This is like, there ain't nothing new under the sun, right? So why is it red? Like, well, it's red for a few reasons. And again, this is normal for August and September, and it's just normal even throughout. Sometimes there's just black swan events and stuff like that come, but right now, I'm waiting till Friday, because that is when Powell, he's the chair of Federal Reserve. He's basically the guy who decides how expensive money is in the U.S., okay, in the entire U.S. economy, all right? So let me explain. When Powell and the Feds, when they raise interest rates, because interest rates are high right now, what they're doing is they make money more expensive. And that's the problem that we're having right now. And so what happens is, if you all are involved in any loans or trying to get, you will see loans get more expensive, credit cards get more expensive, especially those high interest credit cards that are drowning people. I personally believe that we should have been had rate cuts. Okay, that's my personal opinion. All right, nothing I say is financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Also, what happens when they raise interest rates is mortgages, of course, get expensive. Business borrowing gets more expensive. Okay. And when borrowing is expensive, people and companies slow down spending. Okay. So, of course, that's going to affect the economy, right? Because it's going to slow down the economy, which is why the stock market can struggle during high rate seasons sometimes. All right. We've been doing pretty good. Now, when the Fed eventually decides to cut rates, the opposite will happen, which I'm hoping for Friday, that he is dovish, okay, which means that he's for that. He might get hawkish and he might say, nah, he might act tough and say he's not dealing with, cutting rates or whatever. And we're going to see some, probably more to the downside. And that's why right now I'm standing still. I got a lot of cash on the side to buy back in, but I'm waiting. Okay. I'm being safe. Right. And that's why. So what happens is, if he does cut the rates, then what happens is borrowing will get cheaper. People will start spending more. Pay attention to this, because you got to understand the economy. People will start spending more money. Businesses may start expanding more. And then asset prices like stock, real estate, even crypto can usually jump because of that. And that's why every trader and investor is pretty much glued to his words when he comes on, because actually people are trading and making money. There's so much volatility. It can be scary for some people, but really one sentence out of his mouth can swing the markets a whole lot. All right. But here's what most people don't realize in this: rate cuts don't just pump the market. They also can create inflation, because when borrowing is cheaper, money flows faster and people buy more, and then prices go up. So that could cause inflation, right? That means if you own assets, inflation can actually make you wealthier because your assets rise in value, right? And if you don't own assets, then we got a problem there, because if you don't own assets, inflation's just makes things more expensive. Groceries, rent, gas, your paycheck doesn't stretch as far, and we know how that works, right? So this is how there's sometimes a separation happening with assets, with people who are only have like their job money or whatever, and then people who have assets. Okay. That's where there could be a wealth divide. Now, and the wealthy will cheer when assets inflate, okay, because their portfolios are rising. Who wouldn't, right? But the average consumer complains because their cost is rising and they don't have assets. That is why I'm telling you guys to put more money in assets, okay? The same inflation for people, the same inflation that feels like a punch in the gut for one person can feel like a payday for another. Okay. In other words, okay. Now here's the caveat: inflation rising after rate cuts depend on timing and context. Sometimes you'll have situations where if the Fed cuts while the growth is weak, It may not cause or create much inflation, but it can. But if they like cut into an already strong economy, then yes, it can stoke inflation and widen the wealth gap a little bit. Okay, so there, it just depends on timing and context. There's no, matter of fact for any of this stuff. Now, here's my strategy and what I'm buying right now. So I want to get practical so I can help you guys right now. All right, let me take a look at the chats right now. Caught a live stream. Let me grab my notebook. Yes, take some notes. I'm fearful of tax when trading. Well, once it leaves your account, then the taxes start. I think if you leave it in the account and you buy back into more assets, see, I'm not everything I just sold, anything I liquidated, I'm keeping it in the account because I'm just trying to buy back in at a better rate. That's all, right? So what I'm actually doing with my money right now, while the market is red. So first of all, yesterday I did sell some things because I didn't trust how I was just looking at the charts, and you got to trade with the charts. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at the charts and not get emotional about it. And there was just some stuff that I was up pretty good on swing trades. Okay, these are not my long-term plays. My long-term plays, I'm up so much on them. When you get to a point where you up, 800, 1,000% on something, and it go down to, if you go from 1,000 to 800, it's like it's gonna go back up by the end of the year. I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about my swing trades, right? The stuff that I'm actively trading. And so, for example, if I'm up 60% on something, and I have a feeling it could have a correction and I could lose, 30, 40%. I don't know. I want to take a profit, right? I want to take a profit. And if this thing goes up, hey, cool. I can always get back in. But let's say, there's times where people, they're up 50, 60%, and they'll let things drop, and they'll let it go down to 40 and 50 and 30 and 20 until they break even, until they go to negative 30%. And I don't do that. Not with my active swing trading. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if somebody's just like, I'm not touching. Now, again, my long-term stuff, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I want to be clear on that. I'm talking about my swing trade stuff. And so if I got a profit, I want to take profit. And I put a stop loss, meaning, hey, if it go up, like it might rebound back up, but if it go underneath this point, I need my profit. And then if it goes down further, guess what? I take all of that and I buy it back in. And so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. If the market if we have some more volatility to the downside, I'm looking at the charts. I don't think we're yet out of the woods already. So I'm going to wait and see but I had profit. And I didn't want to lose my profit. And so, but for the purposes again of buying back in, and if it doesn't drop down, because you never know, and it starts to go back up, that's fine. I'm going to look at the charts and I'm going to get back in where I fit in. Okay. So, yesterday, I sold a nice amount of, not everything though, just like a little here, a little there. But the key is, I didn't sell to cash out and go shopping. I sold to reposition myself. Right. And so, but some people, again, some people, now there are times I don't do anything when there's a crash. There are times I just add to my position and I just get back in on the bottom and I just add to the position. Okay. There's different ways you can do this. There's no right or wrong. It's just, it just depends on what the context is for that portfolio. Okay. Again, for me, I was like, no, I want some of these gains. I got 60% here, 80% here. I want to get my gains. I'll sit back and watch it go. Now it's down a little bit from where I sold. So, hey, we're going to see what happens by Friday. Right. So my long-term, again, portfolio, I don't touch that. Right. That is where my compounding happens, where I buy great assets and I let them grow for years. And when it drops, I just add to my position. But with my swing trades, I'm not afraid to take profit, sit in cash and wait for the drop, because I know I can always re-enter lower, or I can just re-enter at some point and grow my position even bigger. This isn't how wealth, this is, when you're an investor and you're doing swing trading, this is, you don't want to play defense. You want to play offense. I'm not sitting there waiting on me to go to zero and negative. And I'm telling you, and you know why some people do that? Some people do that because they involve hope on their trading. There's no place for hope, y'all, in trading. There's no place for hope. I hope that yeah, you can have that, but it may or it may not. Okay. You got to look at the charts. And you got to, look at the indicators. A basic one is just when something is overbought or oversold. You know what I mean? So another basic is just looking at the volume of, the volume of selling or the volume of buying. I like to look at the day chart, the week chart, to look at the bigger position, or the bigger picture, and then I go to, you know the 4 hour, and I kind of look at when I want to re-enter, and yeah. So this is how I'm playing it now. If I had $1,000 to invest today, and this is actually what some of the stuff I did buy, here's exactly where I'd be looking, and this is what I would be buying. Again, this is for educational purposes only. I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm not your financial advisor. Investing do come with risk. Number one, y'all, Palantir has had an amazing move down. Okay, so far. I hope it come a little bit more. Hey, but it's coming down, and it's had a little correction, and I'm happy because, again, I bought it so low. I'm like, I ain't buying this at the top. It's at the top. Now you can buy it at the top, because maybe you ain't never bought it and you're just investing in a really good, solid company for the future, and that's fine. But if you buy it at the top, let me just tell y'all, buy more when it comes down, when it corrects, when it crashes. Buy more there. Okay. Don't spend all your money at the top, when it's at the top. Look at the monthly chart and see what's the bottom for the monthly chart. What's the bottom even for the weekly chart? Like, what's the low end? You can buy on the low of the week, or you could buy and put a limit order there, or you can buy on the low of the month, really. And that's really where you can load up, or you can buy it by the 200 EMA. Yeah, there's different places, but Palantir, let me just tell you what I believe about Palantir. It's one of those companies that a lot of people slept on. Okay. Wall Street, I believe, even slept on it. It had a big run up, and now it's pulled back a little bit. But here's the key. I didn't want to chase it on the top. A lot of people don't, especially when they bought it so low. So I'm always patient with these kind of companies. And now that it's finally giving me a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a discount, I was able to, buy a little bit more. And guess what? If it comes down more, I'm going to buy heavier the more it comes down. Okay. To dollar cost average in, because I know this is a good, solid company. Think of Palantir as the infrastructure. Now I'm going to give you another one after this. I'm going to give you three more. Think of Palantir as the infrastructure of the AI world. Okay. When governments and massive corporations need data security and AI powered analytics, Palantir is on the short list. Okay. So it's not just about the stock price today. It's about where the world is going, and the world is going to need more of what Palantir does. And that's why I like Palantir. Now, number two, and this is in no particular order for these two. Well, it is kind of, you'll know which one I think is better, is the cream of the crop. Okay. So if Palantir is infrastructure, NVIDIA is the engine. So I'm putting some money in NVIDIA, and I'm waiting for some lower levels as well. But I started to, nibble a little bit on it. So listen, every AI project, every data center, every self-driving car, every cloud service, okay, they all need NVIDIA's chips. Okay. Can you please show beginners how to get started? Yes, I do that in my challenge. Where do you track the stocks? You can track. I use TradingView. I use Moomoo sometimes as well. But you can just use TradingView. So NVIDIA, they're gonna need NVIDIA's chips. Okay. And that's why I call this a core stock. It's such a great business. Every investor, matter of fact, I think they're gonna, like, as much the money that they're making. I think they're the first business. They make more money than countries. Man, they got so much money. Anyway, every investor should consider having a core, and for me, NVIDIA is definitely one of those. Yeah, NVIDIA has had a very, very crazy run, and it's expensive compared to where it used to be. But you know what? Guess what? If you believe AI isn't going anywhere, then NVIDIA is a long-term play that keeps paying. Okay, it keeps paying. All right. And so now here's where I personally handle it. I don't just buy at any price. Again, I wait for pullbacks for days where there's fear in the market, very high red days. That's when I add. Okay. When people are scared, that's when I'm adding. Okay. Especially if it starts getting extreme fear, that's when I add. Now, here's a bonus. Here is another play I personally am getting into, and I got into today because it pulled back a nice amount for me to feel comfortable about getting in, and that's BNNR. And so where do you, oh, hold on one second. I'm looking at, I was going to answer another question that I saw. Give me one second. I'm going through 1,000 all in on XRP crypto, dollar cross adder. Okay. Okay. So let me see where this stock is right now. Actually, let me see where it's at right now. I'm looking on my, uh-oh. I'm looking right where this stock is right now. Because I am buying, y'all. Y'all better buy these dips. It was down. BMNR was, it's at 52. I got it even lower. It's at 5206 right now. It says I got it even lower. So that is Tom. That's Tom Lee inspired. BMNR is another one that I'm buying, and it was, I don't know what it was before this. Can't remember where it was at before this, but anyway, it's down. So what I do is I scroll through my and I just look to see kind of where things are. If I investigated again, I'm looking at the monthly, I'm looking at sometimes I'm looking on the 200 in May. Somebody was asking what I use. Oh, I'm sorry, I said BMNR, sorry. BMNR. Yeah. That's Bitbuy Immersion Tech. And it is at currently, it may come down some more, but I'll just look to see where it was at 5206. And I was looking to see where my last one that I want you guys to know is at. All right, and I see it. Yes, I'm happy about this. All right, and my last one is what are my thoughts on somebody said I'm breaking up. I hope I'm not breaking up too bad. I'm sorry. My internet is, I guess, acting up a little bit. All right, give me 1 second. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Just let me know if it's breaking up. Let me see if I can change this internet. All right, you guys, we can hear you, but the video is breaking bad. Okay. Let me switch the internet. Hold on. Let's see if I hope it don't do anything crazy. Let me switch it. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I just switched my Wi-Fi. I need to know if you guys can hear me. I need to know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. I wanted to make sure that came through before I went. All right, cool. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was just looking at so my yes, BMNR, okay? And I was looking to see where we are, and because I don't know if you guys heard me. And right now it's down a little bit. It's at $52 right now, BMNR. They're heavily invested in Ethereum. I believe in the future of it. So I am investing in that. Tom Lee, he's he's becoming a voice. I'm not saying he's always right, but I mean, he's very educated and he's brilliant when it comes to stock market analysis and crypto. And so I follow him. And I like what he's doing. I like his vision. And so yeah, I'm buying a little bit of BMNR. So you can do your research with that. Thanks so much. I heard you guys can hear me. I see you guys on there letting me know. All right, the last one that I am buying, and actually, this one is down, but it's up from when I started getting in, and that is UNH, United Healthcare Group. Okay, United Healthcare Group. Now, obviously, this one is a little less flashy, but don't sleep on it. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, the GOAT, one of the greatest. He has thrown billions into health care companies like UNH. He's been sitting with a lot of cash on the sideline, and one of his greatest moves that he just moved into in several months, it was UNH. He decided to throw billions in it. And it doesn't mean that it won't go down, because someone like Warren Buffett isn't somebody who's always trying to time the bottom. I think he just realizes, hey, this company is too great to fail. It's a big company and it'll eventually rebound. And I'm certain that if it does move down some more, that he'll start to creep a little bit of money back in there. He's not over leveraged or anything. If he put that much money in it, that means he got a lot more to put in there. So it was probably a little small percent of his money, you know. So I am, the thing is that people are in here in this country, they're never going to not need healthcare no matter what happens in the economy, right? So UNH obviously has taken a huge hit. It's down massively from where it was, but the thing is, great companies on sale are opportunities. Okay, and right now UNH is at $2.99, right? It was up. The high of UNH is $630. It says I'm looking at Charles and Schwab, 630.73. So guess what? It's half off right now. I was buying it maybe about a month back or so when it went down to 230. So I started buying in at 230. It's up to 299. It's still on discount. I'll still be buying some. And if it dips some more, I'll still be buying UNH. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think I bought around 230. So 300 is fine. I'll still buy. I'm still adding, because healthcare is one of those industries that weathers storms eventually and keeps compounding. So hey, and sometimes I just kind of follow the moves of the big dogs. All right. Sometimes you just gotta look at what they doing, and you might, want to take a look. Okay, he putting billions of dollars, especially when he pulled all of his money, well, a lot of it out the market, and he was just sitting on cash. Like, he normally never sits on that much cash. He's always pretty much in the stock market. But so I was just waiting to see what's next for him. What he gonna buy into, So he did UNH, and so I started to nibble a little bit. But again, I had been buying it when it dropped all the way down to pretty much its low, some of its lows in the last month or so. I'm trying to see what it was down. Yeah, I bought in at the low of the month. All right. So, yeah. So here's the bottom line to my strategy. And here's what I want you to know. I don't panic sell. I don't chase a bunch of hype. I wait for pullbacks. I position with purpose, and I build both long-term and short-term plays. What we're talking about here is short-term plays. Now, I kind of mixed it in or whatever, because the stuff that I sold was short-term plays to get a repositioning. But when I'm talking about UNH and Palantir and NVIDIA, actually, those are my long-term plays. So I have long-term stock. Now, that doesn't mean I won't ever sell it. Again, depending on how many shares you have, you can take profit when you want to. Like, for example, if somebody got 1,000 shares in NVIDIA, or let's say Palantir, somebody got 1,000 shares of Palantir and they started buying Palantir at 20, it would have been fine to take, some of those shares and trade it in when Palantir hit the top. And what was the top of Palantir? I don't want to make up anything. So that's why I got this that I'm looking. It says 190. So listen, if somebody took profit and shared even half their shares or 300 of their shares or whatever at 190, they did a smart move, especially if they wanted to buy back in. Like, the high is 190, is down to 159. I think it was the today's range, the low was 142. So this is when it can become smart for some people to start cashing in. Okay, you cash in at 190 on top, and then it drops and it hits a level like 142. You buy some back in or whatever, but not all, because we might have some more correction. We just got to see. Okay, you just got to watch the charts. Okay, so this is a brilliant way to do it. But yeah, and I'm using it for example. If I had $1,000 with this pullback, I'd probably split, do a little Palantir, a little NVIDIA, BMNR, and then a little bit of UNH. Now, of course, some crypto too. Okay, so y'all know I'm re-entering into crypto as well. But honestly, I didn't have to put a lot of new extra money in crypto because I cashed out on top. I'm waiting for a correction, and I'm going to buy back in and reposition as needed. If it doesn't drop too much, then that's fine. I'll look at the charts and I'll re-enter still at a good place, and I'll still, swing it and make sure that I get out on top. I want a profit. I don't like going red. As much as y'all can, try not to lose too much money in investing. Okay. And it's easier when you have long-term plays in good solid companies and ETFs. By the way, I do want to say that's the caveat, is that you got to have a hedge. So these are individual companies and they can come with risk with the volatility. When you invest in ETFs and stuff like that, it's a lot more safe. So I have the majority of my portfolios are in ETFs. Okay. I just want to say that ETFs, they're ETF heavy because they're safe, and and it's a hedge. Okay. And then the rest are in, I do have a lot of nice solid companies. You know what, let me go back to this, because somebody asked me about APLD and BBAI. And I'm liking APLD a bit. I made a lot of money off of APLD just recently, and I sold at the right time. It just had a run. I think it went up to over $17. But what I did was I sold puts at a $9 strike, basically meaning that I will buy this stock at $9. If it goes below $9, then I will buy them. Okay, myself. I will buy the shares myself if it goes below. And so once it increased, so we're betting on the increase of it when I'm selling puts. So as it increased, I think I got a 50% return on those options. Okay. APLD and BBAI, they're swing trades that you got to watch. Those companies you got to watch. Okay. They're not companies that you can invest in and walk away. Okay. Those are the kind of companies that for now, it just hasn't proven itself to be at that point. Okay. So you can make money off of them. And I made a lot of money off of APLD and BBAI, but you still have to watch them. Okay. This is not like investing in a long-term play like Nvidia, a solid company, or Amazon, or Apple. This ain't that. Okay. You could come back and your stuff be all the way gone. And I've seen stuff like this happen before, where it's like something is all the way up and then boom, and you walk away and you just thought it was a one and done, and then you done lost everything. So although I love a lot of these companies that are coming forward, I love it. I'm hoping that APLD becomes, I do have some stock in APLD, by the way. I don't know if I bought BBAI. I think I only play options with BBAI. But definitely I got some stock in APLD. But I watch it. I have limit orders. That's not a company that I don't have BBAI, but that's not a company that and I got quite a few in APLD. But I got them so low. I got them they were low, $4, $5, $6 or something like that. APLD is now at 1572. It was and I had sold some when it got high as well. But yeah, you'll look up and that 1572 done dropped in half. Okay. So you have to monitor that still. I think they're becoming, good, but that's not a business that I would just a one and done. I got stop limits on stuff like that. When I'm talking about solid companies, I done gave y'all examples of some of the solid companies. Okay. All right. So looking at the yep. Okay. So let me just say this, just so you guys can know this. And then I got a coaching group, and I'm just looking at a few of the questions to see if I want to answer. The stock market is not what makes people wealthy. Okay. Let me just say that. Okay. The stock market, crypto, that's not what makes people wealthy. What makes people wealthy? Mindset. Because the same I guess red candles you're afraid of now, those are the same red candles that wealthy people get super excited about. They see sale prices, and most people see scary prices. Okay. But that's mindset. That has nothing to do with the actual price, because the price is the same for two different people, but two different people are seeing the price differently. One person is seeing it as a sale price, and one person is seeing it as a scary price. So it's not the stock. Okay. It's the mindset. And that gap in perspective is what creates the wealth transfer that we're living through right now. Right. But the question isn't just, what stock should I buy? The deeper question is, who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Are you becoming the type of person who freezes when things look bad, or are you becoming the person who positions when everyone else is panicking? You're positioning yourself. You're looking for opportunity, because at the end of the day, wealth flows to confidence, y'all. If you don't believe you can handle it, you'll subconsciously push it away every single time. So mindset is everything. All right. Now, check out the link in the description. I still do have my link to the 90-day health and wealth challenge. And this is not just about, we're not talking about picking stocks. It's about just picking stocks. We're talking about building wealth in every aspect. Okay. It's about rewiring your mindset, building discipline, and learning how to finally stop sabotaging your financial future. Okay. So you're going to learn how to think like an investor, and not just how to think like one. You're going to act like one, because you're going to learn how to think like one. You're going to get strategies to break cycles like procrastination and fear-based decisions that are hindering you in every area. It's not just money. It's every area. It's your relationships. It's your business. It's your goals. It's all of it. Right. And then help you to plug into a community where building wealth is normal, because the truth is community accelerates transformation. You can't grow faster by yourself, but you can grow stronger when you're surrounded by people moving in the same direction. And honestly, how many people do you have in your family that's understanding the stock market and stuff? Like, is your family and friends trying to get game on the stock market and investments and how to build your own bank and cryptocurrency and real estate and property, and making sure your life is together? Do you got your will? You got your insurance policies? Like, are they talking this stuff? Are they talking this talk? Are they learning how to leave a legacy and break the cycle of generational curses? You know what I mean? For their bloodline, or are they looking at the next pair of shoes that they're going to buy? Right. So we got to make sure that we're in the same direction. Okay. That's what you teach us. Love your community. Absolutely. Thank you for your valuable knowledge. Are you holding any long-term plays in quantum? Not right. Not right now. I've done swing trades on them, but I don't have any long-term on them right now. Mindset makes. Who are you becoming? Yeah, I'm just looking at some of you guys is when somebody said breaking up. I hope I'm still here. All right. So hey, listen, this is what I want to leave with you. Make sure you like the video, by the way. I don't think I asked you that one time during this time. So please just take a pause if you are watching this video right now. And for Instagram followers, if you're not following me, please make sure you go and follow me, because there'll be times that I'm not going to come on Instagram. Just take a moment and hit that like button, please. And subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications, because I'm going to be here helping to add value. This is what I love to do. You guys are wonderful. You are so welcome. I enjoy doing this and being here and serving. So just hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Please like this video. We try to get as many likes as possible. It helps the video. It helps the algorithm. Visit the links in the description. Also put in the comments. Are you afraid when the market drops, or do you see opportunity? Be just as honest as you can. And what would you like me to continue to talk about? Yeah. So, and again, we got some spots for the 90-day health and wealth challenge. So make sure that you hit that link in the description. Here's what I want to say. Finally, your future isn't waiting on the stock market to turn green. It's not waiting on the perfect day. It's not waiting on the perfect price. It's not even waiting on the perfect opportunity. It's just waiting on you to move. And the moment you do, you're going to realize wealth was never out of reach. It was just waiting for you to finally believe that you could hold it. I'll see you guys next time.